What is going on, everyone? And just in time, oh, the man draws a fine line. He's staying awake. Ladies and gentlemen, we've never met properly, but we're just here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 arm wrestling live stream in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and as always, I am your 2019 Melbourne Cup left arm amateur, 80 to 95 kilo, third place getter. My guest hasn't even won one of these. Most sought after trophy in the arm wrestling world. And let me just thank a few people before I introduce my massive guest. Just head over to filthypowerindustries.com and just chuck in a Ready Bang 15 for a 15% off there. Absolutely loving it. And then, of course, my Patreon supporters and YouTube bangers absolutely love what everyone does. For just as little as 50 cents a week, you're helping out the Aussie Arm Wrestler. And it all just goes back into the channel to make it better and hopefully get me around the globe now and commentate all the events. But here we go. The man of the moment here. Ho-ho! Very excited to have him on the show. And Poppy's Aussie Arm Wrestler Cherry. I can't believe I haven't had this big fella on before. He has taken the world by storm. Absolutely made a name for himself by crushing Krasmir Kostadinov. We all knew Corey had potential, and he's come out and shown it. Of course, I'm talking about the gorilla, Corey West. Corey, welcome to the show, big guy.
What's up, buddy?
How are you? How's the chest? How's the chest? For those that don't know, Corey and I were going to jump on 24 hours ago, and he's like, Aussie, I've got to do chest day. And I'm like, mate, you've got one of the biggest matches of your career. You postpone, reschedule, do whatever you can to make sure you are ready.
Yeah, so I drive a pretty good ways away to bench because I got a buddy that owns a gym that's about an hour and a half away, but they've got, they actually just got calibrated plates. I haven't got the chance to play with those yet, but they've got an Olympic bench press. There's always plenty of guys in there that are plenty big enough to spot. So I always make the trip once a week, usually to bench there specifically. So I forgot that we had talked about Tuesday, and I'd already told somebody I was coming down that way. So I was like, well, maybe they'll let me reschedule.
Of course. Of course, mate. Of course. I was surprised that I was even able to catch you before you head over to Dubai for King of the Table, which we'll get to a little bit later on. Cosmic Code is a big fan of yours. He says, Ready Bang. Hail, Gorilla. You got so strong lately. Wish you all the best. And everyone's just coming in and giving us all a Ready Bang to the loyalty crew. People are just announcing that they're here in the chat like the schmo. It is awesome. Lucha Pagliacci says, Kurdecha is an awesome person, arm wrestler. That said, I definitely think Corey can win. He brings the hate to lose attitude, I like to see. Plus, got to back the fellow US, the fellow big guy. Now, let's lead into that. Oh, I think that is a huge point. Because straight into it, mate. With no Vaseline around here, we get straight into it. You had that match against Toddzilla. There's a bit of background behind it, but there was the match there. Now, everyone was like, oh, he's only getting these matches because he's, very good friends, partners with Monster Michael Todd. And then you get in there and you get one pin against Toddzilla and he ends up beating you. What were your thoughts going into the match? Does the outside noise bother you at all? And then we'll get your feeling about after the match.
Yeah, no. So I mean, going in, I thought I was ready. I had I had done as much as I could do with everything I had going on in my life. Uh, I still have no doubt that was the strongest I'd ever been at that point. I just was missing a few things because of, just a lack of being able to do some of the things I needed to do during that, build up. And I thought they wouldn't make as big a difference as they did. But again, I was still the best I'd ever been. And Todd was just Todd. I mean, I'm still the last guy to take any rounds off of him. So I'm not feeling too terrible about it, but we'll run it back again at some point.
What does that feel like? Because you're a big guy. You're a big guy. You're a tall guy. You're a big guy. And then we know in the sport, those in the inner circle of the sport of arm wrestling can sit there and go, well, I know someone shorter than me can take my hand, can beat me, can find angles. But what is it like looking across the table and you got Toddzilla there that's shorter and he was just able to get the win with you?
Man, I don't, you asked me if all the stuff online, all the talk affects me. I don't play into any of it. I've been this size so long, I don't even think about how big I am. I took a match. It didn't have anything to do with me being bigger than him for me. It was a test and, I came up short and, I think, Todd's a bad dude. I don't take anything away from him because of his size. He's, he's going to beat 99.999% of guys, whatever size. So, while I am my own biggest critic, I'm not at the same time. I took what I could from it, and I think it made me better. And it's been on a little bit of a tear since then. So it probably happened for a reason.
Oh, shut your big mouth. A little bit of a tear. The one thing I love about sports is when people have taken your attitude. And it was the same with Todzilla's attitude when he lost to Zolev at the first East versus West. You've sat there and gone, yeah, I'm not putting up with this shit again. This isn't going to happen anymore. And you went on. So what changed? What changed? Because you sat there, you lost 3-1, and then you have just, some say level up, gotten stronger, gotten better, but you have just jumped, like significantly jumped.
Well, I mean, I dedicated a lot of time and energy to this sport for the last 6 years. And, I just kind of told myself that if I was going to do it at this level, if I was going to take a match, I had to be all in. I couldn't let life get in the way in some areas. And, I just held myself more accountable in the areas that I need to be targeting whenever I'm getting ready for a match.
Oh, mate. Smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. And speaking of smashing, Cobra Vavoda has jumped in. He says, Corey, after you beat Kurdecha, can you please destroy Schoolboy?
I don't think Schoolboy will take that match, but it's all good.
No, I think you would absolutely crush him. Quickly, guys. Yes, I am on at the same time as Uncle John, but you got to understand when a bloke's pulling at King of the Table, and this is the only time I can get him on the show, you definitely take it. Uncle John and I have spoken about it. Everything is cool there because, here we go. Corey, quick question. Corey, going to train with anyone else besides Monster Michael Todd to get ready for Kurdecha?
No, I've only got about, what is today? Tomorrow will be Thursday. I've got maybe 7-8 days left. I won't be pulling anymore. I'll do 3 or 4 more days of heavy load stuff, and then I'll do 3 or 4 days of low weight, high volume, and then whenever I get on the plane, I'll be done.
When do you fly out? Because we'll get to King of the Table in a moment. Just curious, how many days before the match will you fly out to Dubai?
I'll leave on Tuesday, so I'll be there late Tuesday or Wednesday. I they don't have all this stuff figured out yet, but
is there a plane big enough to get you on there? Are you
man,
getting a private jet?
they're supposed to be getting me, at least business class seats. So I hope that works out.
Now, what was it? What was it like shocking the world? You shocked me. You shocked a lot of the arm wrestling world. You'll put up a match with a legend of the sport, Krasmir Kostadinov, and a few of us, including myself, were like, "Oh, we're not sure if Corey's there yet." I made a side bet with Uncle John. Uncle John picked you. I picked Krasmir, and then you just went out and, like an empty Coke can, just decimated, just crushed Krasmir. When round one happened, were you surprised of how easy you conquered him, or did you know the belief that you're in? You knew that it was always going to be that way.
Man, I thought I thought that I'd be able to knock him out of center and get him in a pretty bad spot, and if I could get in my lane, then I thought that it would probably go similar, but I thought there would be a little more. I thought he might catch out on his bicep. Man, it's all progressing so fast. Alex will be an amazing test to see where it actually stands, but I feel like I'm just getting a lot cleaner in my setup and my path and what I'm trying to get versus what I'm willing to give up. I just think that, and again, Alex may be the test that shows me that I still need to work on some things. But I mean, in that match, I'm going to try to set up the exact same way. I'm going to try to go the same direction at the same speed and see if he's got what it takes to stop it. So we'll see.
Now that's interesting, because I always love getting a bit of an insight into the craniums of arm wrestlers. Now, whether it was the Krasmir match or whether it's the Alex match coming up, do you solely focus on your strengths? Like he has to defend me. Are you like, I'm going this way, or do you study Alex? Do you study Krasmir and go, oh, if he goes there, I'll be able to catch outside. I'll be able to use the bicep. Or are you just like, it is plan A, it is the Corey way, it's the only way?
I mean, I've got some other tools that I think, are there and available. I don't use them very often. I don't have a lot of interest in using them. Kind of like Dave, I do, whenever I pulled Dave with my left and I tore my bicep off, I do have the ability, to have an open top roll and potentially roll, through my rotation, both hands. So, but Alex is so long, and he doesn't really have a press, but he's still so long. An open top roll is not really how I want to pull Alex. If we were in the strap and it came down to desperation, would I do it? Most likely. Is there a chance I might lose my bicep? Possibly. Who knows? But ultimately, I based my entire, to this point, my arm wrestling career on being able to force people into the lane that I want to pull them in. Ultimately, I would love to be the strongest and not be top rollable. The strongest inside and have a hand that's not openable. So, I mean, how do you beat a guy if you aren't stronger than him inside and you can't take his hand? How do you beat him?
You just use your beard and tickle his hand, and hopefully you catch him off center, and you're able to get there. Now, you mentioned both hands, and Enwil 80K is just as impressed as I am. Your huge win against Ryan Espy on the left arm. Now, you've just put this man into depression because he got injured against Alex on the right arm, and Ryan always had his left arm. And then, like the other weekend, you killed him on the left arm.
It was honestly a bigger win for me to beat Ryan. I don't know all the reasons. I feel like it had something to do with being emotionally attached to having an arm that was, destroyed a year and a half ago and put back together, and seeing it get to this point. took a lot of time and effort, and you see a lot of guys get injuries and they come back better, but you also see a lot of guys that get injured and they're never the same. So, it was tough. I feel like, as a person, I'm pretty mentally strong when it comes to, fear and things that I feel like I'm in control of. And I felt like I did all the right things to put myself in the position to be, at least back to the level I was prior to the injury at some point. And, it just kind of let me know that it was all worth it, that I had done what needed to be done. And, that I was there again. I was more than there again.
Oh, more than there again. You beat arguably top 3 in North America on the left arm. Destroyed him. Absolutely destroyed him. Now, is that a goal moving forward for you? Is like to be the number 1 left arm wrestler in the world? Or is it just, if a left arm match is being offered to me, I'll take it? Or are you just wanting both arms, king of the world, Corey West?
I care equally as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Corey West versus Levan on the left arm. Oh, tickle my beard and call me stupid. We are on here. That's going to be. Oh, did you hear that, everyone in the chat? That's going to be awesome. Corey wants big left arm matches, and I love left arm. So this is awesome because I think you can get definitely some big money matches on the left arm. Done. That's going to be good.
So nothing's official yet. We talked about it a little bit. I don't have anything else left planned until the end of the year, probably. There's some stuff in the works with Cody, obviously. And then me and Ingen touched base.
Yes.
So Cody's pulling Morozov, correct?
Yeah.
So, and then they already posted that the winner will pull
Hermes.
Yeah. So whenever I spoke to when I had spoke to Ingen about coming to East versus West 5, we talked about, I said, I don't obviously want to, if Hermes is pulling Cody, if Cody wins, that's great. And but if Cody loses, I don't want to pull Cody, obviously. But if Morozov loses, then there's a really good chance I'll pull Morozov at East versus West 5.
Yes, that'd be cool. And I'm glad you're getting mentioned now. I'm glad your name is getting thrown into the big names and the big name matches, because you're there and thereabouts. And once you crushed Krasmir, it was like, yeah, get him anywhere and everywhere. And we're going to see it at Dubai, and we're going to see it at East versus West, which is amazing.
They actually invited me to East versus West 4. I just had too much going on in that time frame.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, because you're married, you've got a young child, don't you?
He's 12.
Youngish, but that's what I mean. So yes, arm wrestling's not paying the bills yet. So yeah, sometimes life does get in the way. Well, thank you very much for your super chat. He's just comparing scores of the live streams, which is awesome. Corey, now, I don't know anyone that thinks that they can beat Alex Kurdecha and then John Brzenk in a fortnight. Baffles me. I think it's amazing, and I love that you're doing the challenge. How much? We'll get to the John match a little bit later. When and how did this Alex match come about?
You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of froze up. So by no means do I think, like, I hate the fact that they're 2 weeks apart. I hate it.
Of course.
There's nothing I could do. I actually turned the Alex match down on the first phone call. And then I literally just sat there for like 2 minutes, and I was like, how do I say no? Like, I have to figure it out. So I hate that I have to pull John 2 weeks later. I wish it was 3 or 4. That'd be awesome. But I really just couldn't say no. I mean, if I said no and never got invited back to East versus West, I would be so aggravated. Or not, if I never got invited back to
King of the
King of the
Table.
Table.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah. So, I called Adam back and I said, hey, can I have a few hours to try to figure this out? And he said, of course. So I initially called Michael to get his thoughts on it, and then ended up speaking with him and Travis and Devin, just kind of getting their opinions and kind of the same. I didn't want to make the wrong decision and be kind of offensive to John, or it was just kind of, Travis kind of said it best. He was like, man, he's like, it's amazing that you're getting to pull John. You're not going to gain anything from it. If you win, people aren't going to like it. And if you lose, you lost to John. There's nothing to really gain other than the fact that I get to pull John, which is a huge thing. But, the Alex thing was just too big to pass on. It was very short notice. I've probably known about it. I think I knew about it about 4 days before they released it on course reports.
Wow. And do you know why it was you? Do you know why you were selected for King of the Table? Was it because, I do find, because I was commenting about it not so long ago. I was like, man, they've only got one match for King of the Table. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. It'll be interesting. What's the crack? But for it to be a short notice, do you know why you were called up?
I really don't. I didn't really get any details on any of that. They just Alex messaged me the day before Adam got a hold of me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in pulling or competing at King of the Table?" And he didn't tell me it was this King of the Table. I thought it was going to be the next King of the Table. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then Adam calls me and starts giving me all the details. I'm like, Adam, I can't do that. I thought you were talking about a different, like the next one. He's like, no, we want you at this one. I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been
just kind of made it all work.
A tough decision, but arm wrestling is such in a purple patch. I mean, you've been in it in 6 years. You would have gone to tournaments with bugger all people there, and you would have paid your $50 to enter to win $30 back. So now we're at arm wrestling's high point at the moment. So who knows what the next 12 to 24 months brings? So if people are offering you big time matches, pay-per-view, flights, accommodation, everything, look for you and your lovely wife. You go over there, pull Kurdecha, and then you've got an opportunity to pull the goat. Yeah, you've got to pull as much as you can, because at a drop of a hat, I mean, look when you pulled Krasmir, everyone was like, oh yeah, not interested in Krasy matches anymore. I'm interested in Corey matches now. So you know what it's like, man. You've been in the game longer than most. It can change on a dime.
This is going to sound really bad whenever I say it, but there's a chance that if everything goes good and I'm not super beat up, that I'm going to go to Texas and pull the weekend after John.
Yes.
But it's a tournament, and I'm hoping that my level is just good and maybe a little bit above the rest, and even if I'm a little beat up, that I can prevail. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean the best way to do that, and I'm not giving you advice, I'm just giving you Aussie words of wisdom. It's probably just stay off the after pool table on both events, and then you can pull that tournament. Sometimes you can be beat up from a match, and that's okay. You know how to rest and recover and things like that. But it's that after table, and it's so hard. You get caught up in it, and just a little bit. Oh, okay, Devin, and you're at an event with Levin or Levan, whatever he wants to be pronounced today. You know what I mean? So it's going to be the temptation of give us Gives a feel, big fella. Just a feel, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I might have a lane there, and then you just pull it. You're like, oh no, I've got John in a fortnight. Shit.
No, I'm definitely not. I mean, I'm not pulling left-handed if he wants to pull left-handed, but
oh yeah. So yeah, I just think while you're there, really hit up Adam and everything about a left arm match for King of the Table 5. You versus Levan or you versus Devon. Yes. Got to take advantage of that. White Wolf, thank you very much for your super chat. He comes in, he says, Corey, first of all, good luck, and I hope you pound Alex. Sorry, Alex. Secondly, the chair behind you needs more oil stain like Devon's. There he goes.
this office doesn't get used for anything besides my wife whenever she works from home. So that chair never gets set in.
Buddy Hale wants to know whereabouts in Texas is this tournament?
I think it's in maybe Lindale. I don't have all the details. It's something Travis has got going together. It's going to be, again, I don't know all the details. I forget what it's even called, but we talked about it whenever I was out there pulling Ryan some. So if I can make it work, I'm going to go out there.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, how do you think it'll go? Six round super match format against Alex. What's the score going to be, my man? What's the score?
I mean, I don't plan on losing any. I mean,
yeah.
I think the key to success with John is trying to kill Alex. So.
Yeah, nice one. It's going to be amazing, and I hope you get all the opportunities and everything that you deserve whilst you're there. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully everyone buys the pay-per-view. I can't wait to call the match. I'm excited. And then, of course, like we've just mentioned earlier in the show, like 2 weeks later, how did the John match come about? Did you go and chase it? Did Michael sit there and go, hey, I think this would be good for the main event at the next event? What happened there?
Man, it's kind of funny. So just a normal day, I got off work, drove over to Michael's to to practice some and train, and we got to just talking about this whole how he was going to put this next one together, and how it was going to be free, and we were just talking. He hadn't said anything to me about anything. We were just literally sitting around doing nothing. And next thing I know, he calls, he's messing with his phone, and he hits call John and puts it on speaker. And then, 30 seconds later, he was like, hey, do you want to pull Corey at this? Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. I was like, wait, what just happened? So,
Sitting, when I sit there bored, I usually watch John Brezink, or I'm like, take my wife out. You're sitting there organising matches with John Brezink when you and Michael are bored.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming, but once I thought about it, was kind of like the King of the Table thing. Like I was like, wait, what? What are we? I don't know about this. And then I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Let's do that.
So then, how does one prepare especially when you're seeing what John is being able to do on the table? I mean, his comeback tour has just been nothing short of amazing. How does one prepare for the big fella?
Man, all I can do is come in as strong as I can be. I mean, I feel like there's only one, maybe two lanes where I can beat him. I don't know if I can beat him in the strap. He's just so smart. He's so, beyond me when it comes to wisdom in the sport that I just have to make it as much about speed and power as I possibly can.
It's gonna be amazing, guys, and that is free. It's not even a pay-per-view. Corey West is in the main event there. He's pulling John Brezink. It's gonna be amazing. Get some questions in the chat, guys, as we go through it, because the Gorillas got some huge matches coming up. Now, you said you've got some a little of gaps in between and not much till later on in the year. Do you have a wish list for both hands?
I think. I mean, I'm really good with whatever. I'm not that picky. I don't, think I deserve anything or having, an order that I plan to do things. I just, I think the way I gather it, I haven't heard it from. I haven't really had it presented to me yet, but I get the feeling based upon what Michael said about talking to Ingen that there's a good chance that they'll want me to pull a reef.
Ah.
You know, totally good with that. I did tell Ingen if I'm going to make the trip that I do want to compete both arms. So that's where the, Morozov thing was talked about. That and Cody, I mean, depending on how things go with Alex, that'll kind of decide, for me where my level really is or, potentially is and kind of see what's available from there.
What a storyline. You avenge Monster Michael Todd's loss. Oh no, he pulled Ravaz, not a riff. Damn. I thought you need to pull Ravaz and avenge the loss. No, you're pulling a riff. Yeah, that's amazing. It's going to be good. Yeah, we need those ones. Is the ultimate goal, because when people come into arm wrestling, they're like, oh, I just want to progress and I just want to do this, do that. Are you wanting to be the best in the world, both hands?
It's all I've ever wanted since the day I started.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's what we want. The big fella wants to go bang. Robert Gould says, what's up to you? What's up to you guys? We've got someone that sits on the other side of the fence. Nate, PNW Adventures. He says, Corey will get swept. He has a lot of promise, but he is nowhere near the level of Alex. And that is okay. That is okay. Not everyone's going to agree because we've got a poll at the moment. 65% though, 65% think that Corey is going to beat Alex. So we've got it there. That's after 84 votes. Dan John is a big fan. He says Corey is a real humble bloke. Real humble bloke, which is good. Yep. Yeah, once again, Corey has respect. Very humble and respectful. Now, you've had a very fun relationship with the Monster Michael Todd. A father-son relationship, a best friends relationship, whatever you want to call it. Everyone, including myself, has had a bit of fun with it. And you guys are awesome. You just take it in your stride and have a laugh back with us. Would there ever be a super match planned between you and Michael?
I mean, we talked about it the other day. I mean, because it keeps getting brought up. It doesn't really, at this stage, it doesn't really benefit either of us to do it unless it was, made sense financially. So, I don't think either of us really have the desire to compete against each other in that manner, unless it's, unless it's for like a number 1 and number 2 spot in the world. I mean, it doesn't do anything for us to move a couple positions for not very much money, and it just doesn't make good sense.
Corey? How much money would it take?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, what do you reckon, guys? Let me know in the chat. How much money do you think could tempt Corey to pull his father? Let's have a go from there. Retro Rystar is asking the hard-hitting questions. Thank you very much for your super chat. And he says, Corey, what's the worst thing you've ever lost in that beard?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because it's probably still in there. So that's probably right.
Still in there.
Now, this guy's just jumped in the chat and says, what up, guys? Would you ever pull Jerry Caderet?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to pull Jerry.
Do you think you've got his number at the moment?
I think that if my side pressure on go keeps him outside of his shoulder, that it favors me. Yes. I think if he hits down pressure on go and speed is able to get me on my bicep, before I can get carved in and, get rotated back to the center of my chest a little bit, then I don't know how that goes. But, Dave, the way Dave has always beat him, it's the approach that I would be after, to try to have a hard posting center that just drives him past his shoulder on go and then, keeps him out of his press pretty much.
So you feel that. So you're sitting there and you're thereabouts, you're knocking on the door at top 10 in the world and things like that. How do you feel when you see, because we all love Jerry Catterett. He's come on the show. He's a really nice guy, funny guy. I absolutely love him. But when he hasn't pulled in years and then he's announced for the heavyweight title at East versus West, does someone like you sit there and go, oh, dang, that should have been me. I should have been the one. Yeah. Or, what are your thoughts? Because that's your division.
No, I mean, I haven't heard anybody that felt that way. I was actually at Jerry's last match, in 2019 at the finals. No, I like Jerry. I think, there's a couple ways to look at it. He's been inactive, but he was, one of the top guys whenever the WAL kind of did their thing because of COVID. And, if he doesn't belong, he's not going to win anyways. And if he does belong and he wins, then, I mean, he beat a guy that just beat Michael and just beat Dave. And, I mean, how do you not say he deserves it if he beats Gennady? I mean, he'll have to defend it against those guys. And, if he doesn't deserve it, that'll show through pretty quick. But, I mean, it is what it is. I wouldn't say he doesn't deserve a shot. He spent a lot of years in the sport.
Yeah, no, he has been around for a long time. I think we're just desperate to see him. I don't care if he's going for the heavyweight title because, everyone's got to defend it. Everyone's got to go for it. And I just want to see more and more people at the table because then that means more opportunities for you, more opportunities for other super heavyweights. I'd love to see the rematch with Michael and Jerry after the whole strap debacle from years ago. You were there. You all saw it. A guy that's organised stuff with you, Paul Italia says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Corey West?" Which is good. Just trying to see get some questions in, guys. I've got plenty for Corey, but we won't go longer than an hour because Corey's given up his time. So I won't be able to ask all the questions, but I am time conscious with Corey. But whenever anyone comes on the show, Corey, they've got to play a game. They've got to play arm wrestling's favorite game. It is pin one, lose one, and get rid of one. I'm going to give you the name of 3 pullers, and you have to tell me which one you're going to pin, which one you're going to lose to, and which one you are telling you are not allowed to arm wrestle, YouTube, whatever, for the next 12 months. And everyone in the chat, please play it. Robert Gould knows what's up. And he says, love this game, which is good. Sammy Sprinkles is saying, what are you saying, Sammy? He's saying, I'm slaving my way, making these brilliant comments, and they never get pinned. I must have missed them, Sammy. The chat's going pretty, they're going pretty quick, mate. So I do apologise, Sammy, if I have missed it. All righty. Here we go. So my three in this game are, well, you're taking him on at King of the Table, and that is Alex Kurdecha. You're taking him on at the Factory pay-per-view, and that is John Brzenk. And I'm talking about your father and best friend, the monster Michael Todd.
Win one, lose one.
Until 12 months, gone. YouTube, nothing. No arm wrestling. Out the door.
I don't know the answer to all these.
You gotta play. Look. Everyone sees this as a lot of fun, and like people just no one ever takes this game seriously. You know what I mean? So just say what you want, have a laugh with it, Corey. But I can't wait to see who you're going to get rid of.
I don't have any relationship with Alex, so we can get rid of Alex. And then,
wow.
Do what?
I said, you've just thrown shade at Alex. There's a bit of promo for King of the Table.
And then, I mean, I know I still can't beat Michael right now, so I guess I'd lose to Michael and beat John.
Oh, wow. That relationship is so strong. I was sure you were going to say, oh, I'm beating Monster Michael Todd. I was sure of it. I even bloody circled it on my notes.
I mean, I think me and him both know the time will come at some point, but it just, I feel myself getting closer, but I mean, I pull him enough to know that he knows every little avenue when it comes to how to pull me.
Oh, Mr. Maffei thinks that Monster Michael Todd is in the gorilla's head for sure.
Definitely not that. People probably wouldn't even enjoy us competing. We'd just be laughing though. I don't think it would be what people think it would be.
Yeah, I'd probably be on that side as well. I think it would be, you guys would just pull and there'd be a lot of talking in between round. I think that match would go forever because like you would have the first round and whatever way it went, you would both go to the same corner, you would both talk, you'd both rub each other's arms. So it's like, all right, I'll do the first 30 seconds. And then suddenly Rebecca's come over and just like touching you both on the shoulder and she's probably bought something to eat. And then it's been like 35 minutes into round two. Everyone's screaming, Corey, Michael, round two. Oh, yeah, hang on. Oh, yeah, man, how fun was round? And then you're having jokes and blowing each other kisses in the setup. It'll be it'll be awesome. All right. All righty. So Paul Tully has given a suggestion for the game. Robbie Burnett, Chance Shaw, Derek Smith. Pin one, lose one, get rid of one.
I mean, I'm not losing to any of those guys, so I don't know the answer.
Get in there. Who are we picking?
I can't pick one to lose to. I can't. It's not in me.
Oh! You come on the show and you try and alter the game to suit you. Oh, no.
Look, I can say Michael because I know him. I know that he still has the ability to beat me. There ain't one of those names that does right now.
Love it. Look at him. It's just it's hurting his soul to even contemplate one of them beating him. No, that is awesome. All righty. I'm going to ask you just some quick questions. No thinking, Corey. No thinking at all. Want some straight fire answers. Are you ready? Got eight questions for you. Do you prefer sumo matches or tournaments?
Really, probably 50-50. I like them both.
Yeah, you do. I do see you in both. Are you a fan of the King's move?
Yeah, I think it's got a place just like everything else. I mean, it's getting.
Would you
it's
be a
getting
fan
used
of the King's move if you weren't friends with Monster Michael Todd?
I mean, I've used it. I mean, the only thing I don't like about it is I tore my bicep off doing it.
Are gorillas stronger than goats?
In real life, for sure.
What type of car would you describe yourself as?
Probably a big truck. I wouldn't probably be very many cars.
Where's my next one? What's the worst thing someone has ever said to you on the table?
I don't think anybody's ever said anything that bad to me on the table, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. I was really unsure about that one. Where's my next one? Oh, what do you think about the arm wrestling rankings?
I think that they are tough. They're tough.
You're so polite. I need to put subtitles with a bouncing ball to translate that for everyone. And it's probably like, I think they're the most ridiculous things ever. They're full of shit. I can't believe what they've done to the gorilla Corey West. And you translate that.
I think that they work out just fine as long as everybody is willing to participate and not pick and choose.
Very political answer there. Very political answer. Are you and Derek Smith friends?
I mean, we've been around each other some. I don't know if, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I wouldn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just captured the moment where Corey West will never, ever do anything with the Aussie arm wrestler again. You have just freeze framed that one. And
I wish Derek nothing but the best.
I know you do. I know you do.
I mean, I have the ability to get emotional just like anybody else does whenever I don't particularly appreciate how some things are handled.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you guys are both just striving to be number one in the world.
Yeah,
I think it's a very healthy competition between you two. It hasn't got nasty or anything.
Yeah, it was nothing more than that. I mean, like I said, I don't have anything against him or Chance, but I've said this on I think I said it on the Filthy Power, the Brandon Allen show. All that was, I mean, we're in a professional strength sport. I mean, all trying to be the very best at the very highest level. When they grouped us all together, I didn't group us all together. I never said I didn't want to pull anybody. When they grouped us all together and started talking about who was the best, all that did was make me want to prove that I was better than them.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And whenever they started acting like they had no interest in competing with me, but we're fine, which Chance is pretty open now that, he thinks that I'm a little bit above him. And I like Chance. He's doing good. He is definitely getting better also. It wasn't only that I thought I was the top one of the three. It was that I was willing to prove it, to put it out there and say, let's find out. And no one else was. And, whenever the ranking stuff started getting involved and people started going around me that were obviously not interested in competing with me, it just rubbed me wrong. I mean, I think that's understandable if you really think about it.
Oh, it's just all fun, and who cares what other people think? I find it all. I found it all funny because I think the way you, Derek, and Chance went about it was completely fine. But you know what it's like. It was everyone else, just trying to stir the pot. The comment section and things like that. I didn't care. I was just like, I've got three dudes here that want to be the best in the world. And, if one wants to compete and the others don't want to compete, it'll get settled one way or another. And, a huge test will be this weekend, because then if you come out and crush Alex Kurdecha like 61% of the people in the poll think, well, then that just solidifies what you were saying a couple of months ago. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a heat of the moment thing more than anything. I didn't enjoy it all the way it all happened, but I don't have any ill feelings or
No, because you're a grown man. You're a grown ass man, so it's a manly sport. Last question in the quick fire questions: has Michael Todd ever considered adopting you?
I've got a dad. We don't even, he's more like my brother. I would say he's a lot like a brother.
Oh, I know, but like you see like some of his videos, it's like arm wrestling grandpa beats the whole gym. He does those awesome videos. So we just have a bit of fun with
but no, I mean he's one of my very best friends. I wouldn't. Yeah. There's no doubt that I wouldn't be where I am in this sport if it wasn't for all the things that he's done that he didn't have to do.
Oh, he's been a great influence. And you guys, your relationship is fantastic. I just like having a bit of fun of it. We've got something here.
No, you're good.
We got something here from Justin. He says, can we get a video of Gorilla using Saban's pronator tool? Have you got Saban's pronator tool?
No, I don't.
No.
And
Why don't you have a big social media presence?
Me?
Yeah.
Because I freaking work 55 hours a week and then have to work out. And then I have a bunch of other hobbies. So we just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm always under the impression there's 3 avenues and you can only be 2 of them. So the 3 avenues, you can be an awesome family man, you can be a strong arm wrestler, and you can be a strong YouTuber. I don't think it's very hard to do all 3. So you put all your work in to be the best arm wrestler in the world. You look after your family life. That includes work and everything like that. You be good at those. So then you sit out the YouTuber. Me, I'm going for the YouTuber and family man. I'm a terrible arm wrestler. So it's, my body's cooked and things like that. So I get it.
And then we drag race at a very high level. So we spend a lot of time with that also.
Yeah, I've seen some of those custom. That's why I asked about the car question, because I knew you guys were into like custom built machinery. I've behind this wall here. I'm not a car person, but behind this here, I've got my father-in-law's. I don't know. It's been in magazines and everything. I'll have to send you a photo. It's not a drag car or anything, but it's a fancy car. I'll have to send you a photo.
Yeah. So the only thing in this room that this is this is my wife's car. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
But she actually has the world's fastest all-motor C7. So we have a couple cars that we chased world records in.
There you go. World record holder. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yep. See you later, Dino. He says good night. Don't worry. We won't be too much far behind you here. We'll wrap it up soon. Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler is explaining the car behind here. It's an FX Holden.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's been in magazines. It was at my wedding, and I feel really bad because I have no idea about cars, and I don't. And my father-in-law is a mad car guy. And quick side story: he organised this big car show when I was doing some charity runs, and $500,000 easily worth of cars in this car show, if not more. And he comes up to me, Corey, at the end of the day, and you'll probably throw up in your mouth a little bit, but he comes up to me at the end of the day and he's like, it's like, Jake, which one's your favorite car? And I responded with the blue one. I had no idea about the cars. So I do apologize to all the car lovers out there. White Wolf wants to know, what is your day job that you're punching out all the hours for?
I'm general manager of an automotive shop, actually.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Diffan wants to know, you're not Corey. You're not doing the Wild West Drag Week or the Wid West, or is that Wild West Drag Week?
Probably Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't. We usually just trailer stuff to the track and money races and stuff. We've got a couple cars that are naturally aspirated cars, so we just run specific classes and stuff. But
yeah, how old are you, Corey?
31.
No. So you wouldn't have. I used to play a game called Street Rod on the Commodore 64, but you might be a bit young. I can't believe you're only 31. Far out. King of the Table 4 is coming up. You've got your big match, but I want to get your quick thoughts on the other 2 matches. Who do you think will win between Marcio Barbosa and Irakli Zurachvili?
I think Marcio. Marcio looks to be in good shape. He looks like he's, based upon what he did at East versus West, he looks as good as I've seen him in the 6 years I've been in the sport. I just think, either Todd has leveled up to an insane amount to make Irakli look like that, or Irakli's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, beautiful. I think Irakli's going to be in trouble, just quietly, but very loud on my show. And also, the main event, the biggest arm wrestling match in the world, the most hyped up match ever. Devin Larratt versus Levan Sagnishvili. Corey West, who is winning this massive matchup?
I think Devin's going to pull it out.
You think he's going to win? What's the score?
I don't know. It just depends. I don't know the answer to that, but I think that Devin is big and as much time, is smart and methodical and mischievous. I feel like he's going to mess them all up like he does people. He's going to get in his head. He's going to blow his hand up. He's going to find a way to stop him. And then when he stops him, it's going to be bad.
Oh, Corey West has just gone bang. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, we've got about 3 or 4 minutes to go. So if you've got any questions in the chat, let me know, because Corey's been kind enough to give his time and jump on the show. And because he's got massive match coming up, and he's just got to prepare. So I'm sure he'd rather be cuddled on the couch or watching something else. So he's given us his time. 123 votes we've had in our poll, Corey, and 62% reckon you are going to win.
Wow.
So that's
the first one I've seen that went in my favor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
But
go.
I don't put any stock in that. So
no, they're just all a bit of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Backspace wants to know if Corey is at his strongest now.
By a good bit, from what I can tell.
Yeah, there you go.
It's hard to tell in those matches whenever I'm able to just flash people like Crosby where the strength level is actually at. But just, kind of getting to pull around with Michael the other night some, and just knowing where I usually, I've definitely been able to close up a few of those holes that I've always struggled with Michael, where, he was able to expose like a weak spot in my hand, or, being able to, do some things that I won't discuss, but, some of that has definitely closed up and then allowed me to make it more about strength than technique when pulling him. And it just felt different, so still not quite enough he just knows too much. I feel like the biggest thing that I have in my favor when I pull all these guys that I've never pulled is that they have no idea what direction I'm trying to go. They have an idea from watching, but they don't feel the pressure. And I feel like for a guy, I could be wrong, but I feel like for a guy that hasn't competed at the very top level until now, that hasn't had to pull all those guys, ever, that I possibly present something that they've not, had the ability to adjust to. I feel like for somebody that's never pulled at this level, I have a very high power level, which makes it very tricky for somebody like say Alex, for instance, that doesn't have a super high power level, but has a super good hand and leverage and, all these things that can be a problem. But he also has to think that if he doesn't get to his lane, and if I get to mine, that it could be bad.
With your size and strength, absolutely, it can be bad. You can steamroll a lot of people, which you are just on the correct trajectory when it comes to an elite arm wrestler, and really after this weekend could climb into the top 10 in the world with a big win at King of the Table. But White Wolf's got the hard-hitting questions. Corey, does Monster Michael Todd snore?
I've never heard him sleep. I don't know the answer to that.
The Schmo is saying that Corey is a bad dude. He's a bad dude. Mr. McPhee's jumped in, said, thanks, guys. Great interview again, Aussie. Corey, you're great. Can't wait to see you prove all the haters wrong, which is really good. What's everyone else? Beautiful. Everyone's just jumping in there. Guys, we will wrap it up there. We've been hanging and banging for an hour now. Please send your well wishes to this man. He is taking on that Polish Viking, and he just wants to dethrone him, take his sword away. And Corey wants to jump into the top 10 in the world. And of course, I genuinely believe, because I've got Alex between the 4 and 7 range. So if you jump in there and you win in a couple of weeks' time, 100%, you are a top 10 world athlete. And, just saying it out loud, I can see that little cheeky smile come in because you're like, yeah, that sounds good. I really, really do appreciate it. Corey, man, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
All right, you dead set legends. We will speak to you all soon. This guy's Corey West. I've been the Aussie Arm Wrestler. We'll see you next time.